Yeah, monaters has kept pace with Legorv, and Legorv's probably like the scariest person who's like silver and blow. I mean, Turnip Boy also included. Uh, and yeah, and that's the thing is with the draw against Legorv, Monators has kept pace. Now he does still need to make results against the other strong players in this division. Legorv might be expected to have an easier time getting those results, but we've seen like a lot of 7-5s and stuff from Legorv. He's not been that 100% just monster. He's just been quite a bit of a monster. Uh, this is probably going to be one of Monatter's last like big tests. Yglini's been playing well, been really solid, and I'm excited to watch. Let's look at the picks and bans. Sorry about that.
I definitely agree on the restrict thing. Where restricts in so many cases are sometimes you're wondering like what should I even bother restricting at this point, and sometimes just cutting aquarium potentially in half is good enough.
Yeah, I mean Redwoods was the other one that comes to mind. Like Yglini is going to be playing with a lot of cover, a lot of soft cover though. The Shark and the Tan are not like pillars necessarily, um, like you see on like Ballroom or Redwoods. That's some old art stuff. Like those are my season 2 picks. Yep. I think they're the two maps that like when they transferred over, they were the most similar. We saw like Ballroom, old art to new art. It's a completely different map. Courtyard, there's still 4 statues. Terrain's still there. And balcony. Oh, yeah, but balcony, no. Let's watch some Tan.
Oh,
What are
whoops!
we
And
doing?
I had muted myself, so apparently nobody was hearing what I was saying.
Oh, it's fine. We got Monators here on Irish, here on
Anyhow,
Tan, and if you guys are all ready, Slappy, you good to go? And Cletus?
I am good to go. I
Oh.
have Monadas here, getting ready to do a rush swap. I'm certain of it, and take it away.
In three, two, one, playing it. We going? That's not rush swap. That's a flirt. We'll take the 33%.
Interesting that there's no front conversation. This happens so rarely on Tayed.
Yeah, and we also have the clear out on the left side. Uh, when you're in this position in the back of conversation, like Smallman's hiding back here, we're hiding back here. Usually you have a bit more cover. This is kind of surprising how little cover we have in the back conversation at the moment.
Yeah, stuff is starting to file together a little bit, but that's just a interesting anomalous condition. That could really only happen at the end of the game because the rest of the game is just such a popular destination spot that I don't think I've ever seen it die out mid game.
Okay, we got a couple of high suspects, Twin who went to middle statues, and Smallman who is small and is a man.
Banana bread.
Banana Bread Purloin potentially. Manatters is going to be taking the drink, but there's no list with it. It's just completing the mission. It's pretty good Banana Bread, to be honest.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, right now we look like all we have to really worry about is Purloin. Right now we don't have to worry about it too much because two drink takes in a row means that if the next person takes it, we don't even have to watch the list. Um, Interesting. Okay, we're taking this briefcase.
Cute little sip there too. We did hit the green for the difficult fingerprint. It's something difficult fingerprints are hard to get credited for by the sniper just because it's hard. Manatter's getting the low light for double drink sip returning. This likely game over on Taeyen where it's just hard to bring your low lights back up because there's so many more interesting things to be watching.
Yeah, I mean it's less true than it was before with more people, but really, snipers taking those lowlights is actually something I really encourage because you really need to cut down on the number of potential suspects on Tay and be able to distribute your attention across them. But of course, this is what can happen, and you do it, and you take in little things like that. The double sip is also like I liked a lot because the first sip would not actually ever give me, but the fact that we bothered to do it twice, just to, reward them for that.
Yeah, the fingerprints here, we're doing it last because we're patient and we know that we're going to be doing 2 cycles because we also wanted the inspects. Taking the inspects here really implies that our plans to finish at statues, and unless Yglini has a real change of mind about our suspicion level, it's going to be hard to shoot a low light. We do have a pretty cleared out party. There's 3 highlights left, and I don't think any of them are particularly going to get shot. It's going to be us needing to complete the missions at the moment. Do you think Manaris has any hint that he's been low lit?
I don't think so. One decision point that I'm curious about. Ooh,
This is not the statues. We're going in for the bug. It's a really nice bug, and it's completely invisible just because they're double low lights, both Ambassador and us. Just a large black blob. Yeah, blob.
no, I like it because like you might as well just keep that option open, and that bugs are free on Taeyan at some point. And yeah, got it. And good choice. I don't think we would have died if we went to inspect, but we would have had overtime.
Yeah, and when the Shojis start blocking the statues and they're looking for a shot, even a low light might just get shot just for being a silhouette behind. We got twin here. It's plain twin. No bling today for Yglini in 3, 2, 1. Playing it. SpyParty can be so surprising, but sometimes you get low lit and the game's pretty secure. There are a few players out there. I think myself probably would make the list of people who are able and willing to shoot a low light. Uh, but if you're not used to that sort of just high octane style of low light everybody gameplay, it's not something that's going to be in your wheelhouse. It's just really hard to do.
One of those things that unless you take bad low lights, you're not going to be shooting that many low lights. So only certain players would have that potential.
Yeah, I have a lot of experience, just hundreds of games of taking bad lowlights, and thankfully, that does give you a bit of expertise in really weird situations.
We
We
got
had no mission completion done, but we're gonna get the flirt in here if we can get on the pad. Uglini's not gonna step forward; he's just gonna sell it and walk away. I think probably a good decision though. That's the hardest place to see on Tan.
Yeah, it's too bad we didn't get that flirt because it would have been a nice little off the screen flirt, pretty much. But no dice. Something
Banana
I'm
red.
curious about here is right now we have this purloin that's been sitting behind the shoji for a while, and it's in the spot where the because of where the shojis are set up, there's a thin lane where the purloin can actually be seen, and it's actually soaking up so much attention from sniper right now. If we get another reject, I would actually be really curious about just taking a. We didn't take that bug. I don't know. I'm almost sure we got credited with it if we were noticed at all.
Yeah, it's hard to be confident. Like you can catch things like snapback and stuff to catch the bug, but not seeing the snapback is going to be a lot harder. This is a very quick reject for that purloin. It's one of those rejects that either gets you a ton of suspicion or is completely missed just because it's so quick. You're only minimizing the opportunity. It's bug, bug, bug. Yeah, let's go. Yglini does have a really awkward path coming out of it, and we are going to end up at side statues. But this gives us a way to finish the game if we don't end up finishing flirt. And we've got 2 hardtails, as far as I can tell, past the sniper.
Yeah, and I do like the fact that we have some some backup plan available to us. We still
If
do have
you're Yglini and you felt the highlight at statues, that must feel so good. By the way, you're like, oh, you didn't bother to highlight me for the purloin. Oh, you didn't bother to highlight me for the Bug. Oh, you're shooting me from middle statues? That's not very nice. You only just highlight me. That's very rude. Uh, Good stuff by Manatters. I think the Purloin put a lot of pressure on him, and someone going from side statue to mid statue kind of made a decision for him.
Good grasp of the map, knowing like kind of where you're at and what kind of position a purloin puts you in. Because a lot of the times purloins you might feel the heat to sit around for a while before finishing up. But on Taiyan, you might feel the ability to do that much earlier in the game. The danger zone of Taiyan is much earlier in the game than most other maps, and taking the shot nice and early and it pays off.
Yeah, Yglini did also run into a classic issue when you do a flirtless finish, is if the sniper is just kind of assuming that everybody got flirt, and on Taiyan, that's pretty typical. And they say, well, I assume you have flirt, I know you have inspects, I know you have contact, and I'm gonna say that you also have purloin. That's four missions. The bug, which was a very nice bug, though really hard to replicate, uh, doesn't really matter. We're getting shot despite the fact that we got the bug. Mortan, let's do it in three, two, one, playing it. Bug, bug, bug. We take the attempt. If it does not stick, sniper. I don't know. You can't always rely on the snipers to highlight for the early bug attempt. They might just kind of acknowledge it and save their highlights for things like inspects. But I think we got away with that fine. Minatters seems to just be a regular 51% start.
Let's see. So not much to really see about this. We've got double Soji on the statues, but we have a little bit more view on the purloin, um, and really not too much going on with the purloin at all. Also, Ambassador is not being that hard to track down. I guess we are worried about Smallman. That's really the only person that's had a really good opportunity. Maybe Boots right there did, but other than that, Ambassador hasn't been that hard to track down. Maybe
Thank
here.
you for this bug range. Double agent leaves. The desire to do the banana bread covering bug has dissipated. The problem with this bug is it's clear out in the open, so if you're not doing things like banana bread, it's gonna get caught. This is a pretty rough
Banana
banana
bread.
bread. There's a lot of people outside of conversation, and it's fake. It does cover the
Banana
bug
bread.
though. We're gonna have to see if it's worth it. The second banana bread, very confusing for the sniper, and I don't think it lost any other people to alibi lowlights.
That said, it might have put some pressure on Smallman. Smallman was adjusting in conversation between the banana breads, and so right now we might be really focused in on Smallman. If Smallman does some more of this game, we might just end up with a win anyways.
Yeah, when you do two banana breads like this, there's a lot of incentive to extend the game. Like we'll still want to finish our flirt, but doing the final mission at the end of the game is likely to give the sniper a bit more time to shoot. Uh, the problem with two banana breads typically is it just results in a lot of lowlights, but when they're back to back like this, uh, there wasn't any additional lowlights. You're just confusing the sniper and baiting out a civilian shot while also having good progress at the moment.
And seduction target keeps being unavailable for us. We might consider doing whatever our fourth mission is going to be first, which unfortunately, like transfer is always just kind of a crapshoot on this map and not a very good one. So I doubt we're going to do that. We could step in for the purloin. We had the potential to do we had the potential for a purloin right there. Um, and I don't think we're going to be swapping. We put ourselves near Ambassador in a way
We did
that's
the immediate talk to avoid being considered for the bug, which is clever, but it does give us credit for the immediate talk. White Purloin, this is gonna be on camera. We might want to dance here, honestly. No attempt made, and the sniper quick enough to not let the spy get away with too much. Uh, if you started dancing, like the problem is you then alert the sniper. Oh, by the way, I'm the spy. But they kind of already knew that with the white purloin and the angle they're holding. And we are now 2-1. Minatter still leads, but lost that game.
it was, by the way, so close to Toby's shot on that. Toby almost ducked his head in. we were about a split second away from Toby taking that one.
If he wasn't so pixely, uh, might have died. Good job, Toby. We got or bad job. Is Toby meant to take shots for you? I think it's very much a
Toby,
matter of perspective.
Toby spy ally, Damon spy enemy is the
Makes sense.
it's the canon for me.
I like that cannon. Let's get another cannon here for your Yglini playing mom here on Taiyan in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Uh, what's the plan here, Yglini? We're gonna flirt? We're gonna flirt. You'll take a 51%. Thank you very much.
And no cover of Soji on the right side of the map, which obviously is a bummer for a statue, but even a bigger bummer for Toby. So much easier to watch Toby when there's just a side of the map you don't have to worry about as much.
Yeah, when you don't get to have swap, you have to find a lot more clever purloins. The temptation is going to be things like microfilm, but if you do a slap a book and you do a white test, I feel it's almost easier to see through the shoji for some reason.
You're really reliant on someone else being there. Really, the soji themselves aren't that useful if you're by yourself with them. I mean, they do help with the turning of the face because you only see the silhouette. But really, what you can do is if there's someone in line with you at the bookshelf, and you can cover up your arms with them. But it's just so dicey, and you have to do it twice, and it takes up so much time on this map. And there's not all that much else to be watching already. Uh, not the biggest fan of it.
Bad news, we only have flirt done and we're the only highlight. Yglini has gained heat from Minatters, and it's really hard to
Banana
win these
bread.
sort of games where you get heat. That's really clever. We do the flirt into banana bread, so the animation just ends instead of us needing to stop talk. If Minatters was paying all too much attention to us, that is actually a way to couple low light from a high level sniper, and Minatters has proven himself results wise that he definitely is that. We could inspect swap. Like we shouldn't, but we could.
It's interesting because like it enters into the counterintuitive territory. But if the thing about the about inspect or sorry a swap here is even if you don't have Soji, there's the old-fashioned if you swap behind a big body like Taft or General, you can actually still hide a lot of the animation. It looks like instead we're trying to set up potentially for a bug. Nothing's gonna go for that.
This will be a spot that's going to be hard to necessarily get Purloin. I'm not even sure Toby's going to be allowed to go to the spot just because there's a bit of a wall behind us. This is a fingerprint, I believe. If it's not, we're in trouble. It is a fingerprint. Where's the other fingerprint? You don't usually do these sort of fingerprints with less than a minute left unless you have a real clear idea. If it's going to be the briefcase, we need to get lucky and find another mission. And that's the sort of thing where you're going to end up putting a briefcase on the ground that shouldn't be on the ground. Not taking like a really cheeky purloin. You got 30 seconds left. Yglinis need to find magic here or hope for a shot, but there's just two highlights. We don't have much hope of that, at least with our caster knowledge.
Looking
List is still
dicey.
there. Smallman's not taking it. Yglini got 10 seconds. It's gonna need to be bug and then like steal the briefcase out from under him. Ambassador moving is good for the briefcase, but it's terrible for our bug. This is gonna be a timeout unless we can sneak in a timeout, but we're at the front window. You
I
couldn't
don't
get
think
much more obvious. Yeah.
that's too bad. So let's see. So obviously, it fell apart a little bit in there when we weren't able to get anything. We weren't able to get the bug in there. Let me go back and look at this highlight.
I think it honestly might just be like a bit of pathing, a bit of flirting. Um, like very behavioral stuff. I don't think I saw any particularly questionable etiquette.
Yeah, no, it's taken for a long time. Oh, unless there wasn't a talking thing, was there?
Maybe like an immediate sip or something. I'm not 100% sure here. The The reality is when you're playing these high level players like Monaters or Legorv or T-Flame, the three players who've just been really taking control of this division, you have to play really cleanly, really smart, and even when you do that, you might still cop a highlight for no good reason.
I think that we avoided the path around Ambassador. I
Oh yeah, exactly. That sort of junk where it's like, ugh.
think that if
Well,
we were actually aiming for that position in the conversation circle, we would have actually clung around Ambassador even in a natural path. That's my guess, but I don't actually know.
yeah, no matter what it is, it's either incredibly big brained or small brained, but since it's a spy, we're gonna assume it's big brained. We're moving on to gallery. Manaters has the lead, 3-1. I think this not to be unexpected here for Manaters, but gallery is another tough map. Like these are very hard maps to play on both sides of the laser. So we'll see what he's able to do here with red dress in 3, 2, 1, playing it. I'm concerned for Yglini. Like the pacing issues there were in part because of the cast, but something like Gallery, if we're gonna have that same situation happen on Gallery that happened on Tan, it's only gonna be exacerbated.
And we were thinking possibly of joining our seduction target at Book, but Irish being in the middle of the pad kind of ruined that. There's actually a couple of games ago, where our seduction target was Orange Dress on Tayan, and Orange Dress sat right in the middle of the pad and looked bad on either side to be sticking into there.
I always love that, where just anytime you're in the conversation, it's a perfect flirt. Uh, we should have a name for it, but I have a feeling it would be uh, a bit uncouth if it's just like someone who's able to be flirted with at all times.
That's right. We do get the flirt before they bail on us. It was actually not the longest. Ooh, we take a pretty liberal excuse for a redirect, which honestly, when you're this early in the game, you're not a highlight, is really not a bad idea because it's one of those things where it's like that kind of like half of the time ad kind of thing, where instead of going somewhere and having to come back later for a flirt, you get to just like take it, and then as long as you make it plausible enough that they don't think about it. Great excuse taking, and one of those kind of marginal things that's going to save you time on a map like Gallery, where it's really important.
Yeah, on Gallery, there's a large balance here with we're just doing the same thing over again, really matters. Where the front conversation is often easier to get flirts and like cheeky stuff like this. Oh, come on.
Oh
Come
my god!
on. Why
I
can I not have this
Oh
luck?
my god, I love that. I know. I don't. At least I'm not gonna say I know. I don't think it was intentional, but that is some of the best you get in the conversation. Get over here. You're going back to where you came from, and wow, I love that.
Yeah, Menendez has a lasso. It's not fair. The problem is Yglini still has a gun, and I think gun beats lasso last time I checked. We're gonna go for another fingerprint here. I think that was good timing. It's always hard to say with these fingerprints, briefcase situations. We need to find two missions. This is a bug lineup. We're taking it. Ooh, I think that was really good.
It was good for the block on the hand. It's really the path, right? So we pathed near this conversation circle, and then the follow up on the path, unless we think that we can sell that we are blocked by someone, we wouldn't have pathed this way over to bookshelf. Now, to conversation circle, we could have sold it because you go near conversation circle, you wrap around. But I don't think we're being called out for it. But if we were a super ultra suspicious suspect, we might not have been a highlight for it. So I wouldn't be shocked if we got shot for it. But right now it looks pretty good. I'd rather be, oh man, we're being real aggressive with those. I mean, they're working out so far,
Yeah,
and
we
it
don't have an incentive to be outside. This is probably a swap, to be honest. Someone was just here. It's back facing. Uh, you could try and hit the green, but if you hit the white test, you're liable to get single shot. Yglini does not agree. Yglini says, I don't care about your funny swaps. I've still got a gun. It's still got one bullet, and it's coming for you. Yglini bringing it back to only down 2-3 with a chance to tie it back up here on the spy side.
Yeah, and note that even with all those time-saving mechanisms that we got, we still, I was going to say maybe we could have gone statue to statue, but we would have been statue to statue around like 20 seconds left, or maybe around like 30, let's say. Around 30 seconds left, and that still would have been suspicious. And so even with pacing where we cut some corners, still gallery. It's a tough map to not pace on.
Yeah, Manatter's saying in chat here, and it's a good point. This was a green swap frame. It might have been just a bit quick to get to the statue. And Yglini saying, or Magnetta's saying that Yglini didn't truly acknowledge until he'd already shot that it was a green swap situation. And thankfully for him, he didn't have thoughts about it because it was the spy doing the swap. But Manatter's finding a play that most of the time would have worked. Yglini likely would have shot the green swapper if he had the chance and had thought about it a bit longer. Okay, we got Rocker with Drink in Hand in three, two, one, playing it.
All right.
Where are we going, Smallman? You're the apple of our eye. Looks like that conversation, and well, we're not gonna be able to get our 51% flirt, but oh, we don't even want it at all. We're going blue bookcase. Interesting.
Bookcase, and we're not at a. I was wondering if we're going to try to get a block on, but nobody really stays long enough for you to set up a block animation or a block of the situation. Although it does give us an excuse to do this, where we have a book in hand, and we can leave and go seduce later, and then see if our luck is better about who is blocking that. I mean, I don't think we could get away with a direct transfer at this point unless we were really sure that Manners was distracted. But I actually like the idea of grabbing a book, there not being the kind of blocking you.
Nope.
Not quite yet.
We had
Uh,
a book in hand.
that's true. Not having the blocking you need, but maybe just later you have the blocking you need. And then also, looks like we're waiting for Smallman to possibly step back in the conversation. Is Smallman going to blue
Oh,
bookcase
perfect.
for us?
Let's go. Do it, man. Uglini. If he doesn't take the flirt here, he's truly committed to the microfilm. It looks like Yglini really wants to do the microfilm because if you're not returning the book here and now, you're never returning it.
Sad about this. This would have been a really like now if we get away with microfilm that's bigger, obviously, but I really feel like we were pretty noticed at that bookshelf, even just ambiently, and that would have been a fantastic way to get up to that second flirt. I also did note that we're at 47% on our first flirt, so we were gonna have another one regardless after this, and just getting that nice close flirt in there where we can just rush it later was going to be great, but we're going to be running into time problems. We're halfway through the time, and we only have a book in hand and less than half a flirt done.
Yeah, not taking the time ad here. The the thing with time ads, and especially on something like Gallery, a green test is actually usually very good because they're not looking at the front windows very often. They're often zoomed in. A white test is really bad because there's only one window. So if you're not like particularly confident about your ability to hit green tests, time ads on Gallery are very double-edged.
We take the space in this conversation circle, knowing that we're going to have two flirts anyway, and we hit the green, so we're good to go with one flirt any regardless. Something that I was not sure if I really loved or not was the fact that we passed up on a pretty good banana bread when we went outside. We could have gone from the window to the front conversation, got our banana bread, which we're really going to want to have as part of our mission selection, or the missions that we've done at the end of the game. And remember that you can flirt wherever your seduction target is on this map. And nowhere on this map can the seduction target go that you cannot flirt with them unless there's other people blocking. Double agent has to be in a conversation circle. When you're choosing between the two of them, just remember that. It's actually really easy to get off conversation circle flirt. You're really going to value banana bread later. And I hope that doesn't come back to bite Gleany.
Yeah, the other problem is the SDA has been in the bottom conversation for a very long time. That's why, in part, the double agent hasn't been there. Um, it looks like they're going back, but even if we're doing a banana bread, there was a period of time there where just even a fake wouldn't have caused a shot. This is a swap. If you're trying to find a way to potentially finish missions or just get someone shot, we did just see this. We saw the green swap frame. Now we're just seeing the green swap. This will be the third mission. What's the fourth?
We're just
It's
going to block the
expect it's gonna be
animation.
very tight on time. This is gonna be rough. 8 seconds on the swap. It's gonna be overtime. He wants to shoot for the swap. The inspect comes in. We do successfully pick up the statue.
It's
Oh
going to,
no, we run out of
yeah.
time.
That, it's
Did
the first
oh
effect
no,
is
he
so
he he,
long.
s- he he inspected the wrong statue. All he had to do was inspect the. Oh, well, he had to inspect both statues. That's the real problem. Is Ambassador pinched it out from under us. I'm not sure we could have done it anyways,
We couldn't.
even if we needed both. If we only needed one inspect, we would have been good to go. We could have just inspected the one that we were holding. But that's not the case because we had to leave to go do the flirt. Like, we needed time to just be at that statue, the first statue, a couple seconds earlier, for this whole chain of events to happen. The other thing to note is the swap didn't cause a shot, which is absurd. It had 8 seconds left. You're at that like moment where we've seen people lose to too late to sink and stuff. If you're not shooting with 8 seconds on the clock, you're really risking it with the overtime beeping.
Now
Yeah.
imagine if the Yglini had taken that contact.
Oh yeah, then someone gets shot and it's probably Duke.
Too bad. Especially because, well, like one thing that you can do is one thing that's underrated about late game green swaps, particularly on gallery, is you can often draw in someone that had finished one set of inspects coming in for a later one. And a lot of the times people will take highlights on gallery or just remember that they were at a set of statues and not which set of statues. So if you draw someone in, pretty good chance, like not even 50-50, but like 30% chance you get someone that's already been to a statue before, and then it's really threatening and you might have the shot come off. But Duke had been doing nothing that game. So, and no banana bread coming off is like, they'd have to be doing some sort of special nothing in order to get that done.
Hey Slappy, how many people come to the party with a bow tie?
Uh, Quite a few, I think.
Yeah, how many of them are small?
Uh, I don't know. Does Wheels have a bow tie?
Wheels isn't small, he's just in a wheelchair. He's sitting.
Uh,
Everybody looks shorter when they're sitting. Come on.
Ponytail is an ascot.
It'd be nice. We need a lady with a bow tie. That's my request checker.
Hey,
That's
we're
my
small men this game.
that's my caster rep.
Why aren't you focusing the fact that we're small men this game?
Because he's short and has a bow tie.
Not a good reason to ignore him. Well, anyways, I think that we're focusing on the fact that we have small men starting and count us down.
3, 2, 1, playing it. Where are we going, Manatters? Because everything you do is suspicious. You're Smallman on gallery.
Um,
We
we
do
have
have worse
space.
places in the world now. This
Hmm.
is, yeah, you're gonna get highlight for that. I think he honestly was trying to do the bug and then didn't click the button. Now he is doing the bug. We might die in 10 seconds.
We could. I was curious if we're going to take that flirt because for a statue flirt, we actually had a lot of space to get in there. Some of the times, the statue pads are not worth trying to take
3,
a flirt on.
2, 1, Purloin.
Oh, here we go. Okay, so are we going to take a banana bread to cover? Unfortunately, so like the classic problem with Smallman Purloin is that there's the obvious animation that sets up the fact that there's a reject and that it was a reject for Smallman. So we'll actually see if we saw that animation beforehand, if we have a ton of suspicion on Smallman or not. But if we don't, well, if we don't, we could just lose to.
Inspect swap. By the way, the answer is 2. It's Seek and Smallman. I haven't been spending the last minute just trying to find bow ties. Don't worry about it.
Don't forget about Toby.
Oh yeah, and Toby, but he can't be the spy.
All right, so are
Yet.
we? So we're not going to take the swap, which
We're
I think
not
is
inspect
good.
swapping. We're gonna be good and patient, and we honestly just finished flirt. If we're going over here, we're gonna walk over the briefcase. This is too busy. We don't really want to be anywhere near the ambassador at the moment. This is better.
Let's see if we're gonna be.
Oh, that's
Oh,
cheeky, clever, and you're small one. You're not gonna get low lit for it, but it might save us from getting shot for the flirts.
we still only get the white, so we have a bunch more to go. It's not going to be that bad, but we are going to have to chase. So this is really going to be dependent on our level of suspicion of small men rather than threat, because we're basically just going to be chasing the rest of this game. If
Or just have our cloaked white.
Seduction Target moves,
They
yeah.
won't move. It's fine. They love us. That's what the red arrow means. Is they love us. I wish that was true. Seduction targets are particularly fickle. The nice thing about this setup is because of the purloin bug inspect is done, there's no incentive for us to do a contact unless forced to, and it's really hard to shoot even with the list gone in a silent game.
Well, you get the second flirt, so that's the really important one. I was worried for us if we sunk like 40 seconds in and seduction target bailed, because then we're gonna have to chase and then leave and then go back in really quick. It doesn't even matter. We get
Good stuff. This is the power of Purloin. If you can hit the green and not be seen because you're smallman, it's a mission at worst, and at best, it's a mission and you also win because someone just randomly gets shot.
What did we actually get? Did we take a drink after Ambassador or something? Or yeah. So it looks like we were Alice finished up fingerprints. Did she have a print earlier in the game? Alice was pretty active this game. Um, so not unreasonable worry coming in. I think we probably had could have waited a little bit longer on Alice shot, but uh, I think we were clear that game. The fact that we were looking at other suspects mean we were going to be able to finish that flirt, no problem. That game was won.
Okay, this is 2-5 if I'm not mistaken.
2-5. Sounds right.
I'm kind of yelling at Cletus to
That is correct. Yes, 2-5 is
update
correct.
the scoreboard, please.
Yes,
Uh,
it had been updated. I do it in a very particular order.
okay, okay. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
There was a more important detail to note in this.
Oh, we're playing
Oh, I
general, by
see.
the way.
All right. Okay.
Hmm. What's the plan here? 34%? 51%? We're just feeling the 34. It's like when you go to McDonald's, you're like, I'll take a medium, please. I don't need a Big Mac.
Well, so the question is if I mean it's a pretty slight risk.
Oh, goodness.
All right, here we
We,
go.
we, we can have that conversation you wanted to have for no reason on Library. The early Purloin, it's going to cause a lot of pressure. It might cause a few low lights. We're also going to be at statue when the Purloin's been seen, and swapping. Yglini's clicking buttons. Team do stuff is Raven.
All right, well here we go. So let's see. Right now we have some progress dumped into flirt.
Uh-oh.
I would have really loved if we had 50%.
The problem is the statue's now visible.
The problem is the statue's now visible, and really it's going to be about whether or not we mismemorize anything. We're taking some lowlights, but we're not taking a ton of lowlights, and we're still highlighting other people that have been to different sets of statues. And a person that, if we're taking statue highlights, we know haven't been to statues before. I don't know if this swap is really concretely being seen yet. We're taking all sorts. We're low lighting highlights, and we're highlighting lowlights. Um, I don't actually know what's going on in Monato's head right now at all. Anything could be on the table. We might have just gone away with this clean. We're gonna flirt at the window and then probably go in for an inspect and then flirt again. I think we're gonna get away with this.
Hey, pretty lady. If there's anything General likes doing, it's talking to Queen. We've got 85%. We do have inspects in pocket if we want to finish the inspects, though. Like these guys have been really leaning away from doing contact. It might actually be the way to go. It's just another silent game.
We are still bringing up lowlights up to neutral lights and highlights.
Here we go,
So
moment of truth.
yeah, if Matters is still feeling jumpy from the rest of that game, sorry, from the rest of the game up until now, uh, this is really going to be it. But it doesn't look like it, and so we're really going to be able to. We can take this flirt from anywhere in a conversation circle. We don't have to force it that hard, and we're going to go on the far side of the conversation circle, and then we're just going to be waiting for it. And we even have double H as a backup in case our
We're not waiting for it at all. We're going with the immediate talk,
time
and
talk
stop
too.
talk. Ugh.
Queen just went and grabbed a briefcase during that, and was going to be busy for a long time. So actually rushing on that flirt worked out, and there it is, spy win gallery for with a purloin and a swap in the same map.
Natter's noting in chat, and this is often true. Players who don't rush, if they pull out a purloin and a swap and just finish in your face, and it's just not something that you think is in their repertoire, you get punked. And Yglini finding a way to bring back a game from 5-2 to 5-3 is a big deal. Because all you have to do now is just win Aquarium a couple times. That's easy, right?
That's what I hear.
Okay. Keel is on the loose. Manatters playing Irish. We got some high high profile spies here, and we'll get started in 3, 2, 1. Playing it.
All right, so bottom shark to start with. We got to be worried about shark at the 30-second mark on each pass. We do get the 51%. So now we have a lot of just interesting options open to us. Um, banana bread wouldn't be the worst early banana bread, but not the best. And we wisely don't take it, I think, for now. And selection target goes real
Get to
far
the
away.
bug.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, here it is. And we are gonna path back. Interesting. Okay. So we don't have
Gonna need
like
to
the
catch the
perfect
replay on
non-fade.
that one later. It doesn't look like Benares is copping a highlight. Everything's going smoothly, but that's quite bold. Going all the way to the bar there, I'm pretty sure means that you're
Banana bread.
outside of cover for at least a moment there. See, and you could have just had this bug, which would have been amazing.
Yeah, it's interesting because obviously, while it wasn't perfectly obscured, at least the path away wasn't perfectly obscured by Keel, and we didn't go back to where we were in the conversation circle. It's hard to believe that we'd be that far away and have gotten that bug. So I think that we're very clear on this. We're gonna have
Yeah,
to nuzzle up pretty close to seduction target on this. We're really gonna need to hit this. Okay, and we
we
do.
have a large incentive to just take the list here. Like we could delegate, we could do a different mission, but it's 2:30 on the clock. The shark is coming by. We're going with the delegate. Monaters has a bit of restraint here and not just closing out on the rush.
And so now it's really gonna be about the
Oh,
time.
because it had a fingerprint. That's why.
Okay. Well, I guess you take that chance, and then maybe you do a slower slower finish than this.
Okay, we're
Okay,
going with
we're
the
sending.
delegate and quick stop talk on it. The I like the idea with the idea that there was a fingerprint on it. Now it's gonna be Zeke going to the side of the bar. There's not gonna be any cover on this, and it always feels a bit more like a delegate when the AI decides to go out in the open, because most spies would just use it, go there with the back facing. 10 seconds here. It's seen. Is it gonna be Manatters getting shot?
Nah, no way. We're taking
Low
a
light's
bunch of
coming
low
off.
lights
That's not the right response.
and we run into the shark at the very end just to clear it out. But
Yeah,
no, that basically all came down to that bug, and then everything else was not all that much covered. And that, and the fact that we hit two great flirts to give us the ability to finish at 130.
okay. I'm going back for my own personal need of how good is this bug? Can I do this in the future? Okay, thanks. Oh, with Yglini's angle, it's atrocious. Yglini does not protect the ambassador at all because he thinks the ambassador is incredibly safe. That was absolutely clean on the bug. Good stuff.
Yeah, we had just the tip of Irish's head out there, but it was so bold and such an odd spot to go for it. I think we are just paying attention to the rest of the map.
Yeah, well, why would you expect it? Ambassador's safe at the bar. Surely. He's not, but surely. Yglini playing some Taft here, needing to win games. It's gonna be 3 games Yglini's need to win back to back to just get the tie at this point. Aquarium's a good place to do it though in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Bug, bug, bug. Good man.
Possibly good. Now the thing is, like, okay, how many times have you seen the bug on the lower part of the map right at the beginning? Because that's just where Amba is. I think we even saw someone die for it, maybe in the cast a couple days ago. But we don't get seen for it, so it just happens.
Let's talk about fear, because the problem with taking that path, if you don't bug, is you're gonna get credited with it quite a bit. And the reason spies still make that decision at the end of the day is they don't like losing games 10 seconds in. It's a really miserable way. You want to play some spy party. That's why we all joined the SCL. Is we came to play some spy party, and 5 10-second games are not playing spy party, or at least
That
they are playing minimal amounts of spy party.
I mean that and like it's aquarium, so there's you're giving up potentially on just an AI getting shot for God knows what reason. Let's say they have the audacity to go to a side statue before shark comes in, and you think you might not be able to shoot them again, and they just get shot. So we're giving up on that if you do it. So it's a bit of a risk, but then again, if you're able to get away with enough with a shark, it just happens. And we have a bug. We have 77% on the flirt. Um, Now it is always interesting because bug is usually the one you're going to get done on this map, but inspects aren't free on this map, especially with the additional suspicion on whether or not you're going to try to swap and dodge under keel the entire
Banana
time.
bread.
Banana Bread comes off. Flirt can come off shortly after. We got 3 missions done. Welcome to Aquarium with 2 minutes to play. Almost any hardtail or fingerprints are on the table. And if Yglini's got hot tech in mind, finishing on like a back-facing swap would be like the classic. Like you don't have to be overly clever here. Yglini looks like
And
they're agreeing with me. Not a
yeah,
great path in, by the way, but we got the body block. We've got the character for it. He's doing the animation too. He's not doing the Simba that we saw earlier. It's gonna be really hard to take this shot. 2 seconds and you still have no visibility on the statue. It's game. Yglini, easy finish there. Picking the character who has the body for the business.
indeed, and you're completely right. And we one cycle it just because we don't want to risk Simbaing it. Very clean, and we swapped nice and early. We had an exact idea of what we wanted to do. Ambassador was near us, so I was worried at first that their attention might be drawn towards us, but actually they were in a completely safe spot, so their eyes are probably drawn to the rest of the map.
The overconfidence of Courtyard. You're up 6-4. You've lost a few games, but you're not too worried about it. And you just go, well, it's fine. I'll just snipe them on Courtyard in game 12 if it comes down to it. And then you lose to something stupid. I'm excited. Monaters here. Gotta do the spy side first, though, and could easily get the win here.
All right, so now we could actually get in trouble for the very generous path redirects we've taken so far on Courtyard. They're a little bit more apparent, and you don't have as many opportunities to really take them. Obviously, in Time of Chaos is not going to be that bad, but we actually have to pace out a little bit on our flirts if we want that. Um, Ambassador's in an interesting spot. I don't think we're going to take it. Potentially,
It's
we try to go for the bug. It's too far.
that was an attempted walking bug, but we somehow got the list out of there. And hit the green, thankfully. A white. Oh, well, that's not good. This is a very interesting game. I'm excited. Let's do a countdown again.
So.
In three, two, one, playing it.
So I have a feeling that we're gonna go in, follow our seduction target, and then draw the ambassador over to us, and then we're gonna do a feint of a bug into maybe a green purloin. But who knows?
I disagree. I don't think that's in Minatter's wheelhouse at the moment. It just doesn't add up to what we've seen in the first 5 spy games from him.
I actually did notice this the first time that we
Banana
get a
bread.
little bit lucky. There's still
Oh,
space
banana
for
bread into attempted bug. It doesn't go, but green purloin. Sick stuff from Minatter's. Unexpected entirely.
right. So we have this purloin going down. It's a pretty quick take right after us, so we might get some ambient suspicion. Our seduction target jumps into statues. We could try to go in. The thing is, we actually try to grab the other statue. We think it's a white, and that's it.
The white purloin. Okay, yeah. Uh, Banana breads covering purloins are good. Did you know that? Because that's how you win this game. We didn't get shot for the bug. This wasn't the cleanest game for Natters, but with these early hard tells, you put so much pressure on the sniper. It's hard to say how they're going to react. They might just shoot you on instinct too, but this means Benatters up 7-4. Means they win the set. It means they're still in a very good position to get top in this division. If Legorov slips up, or if it comes down to something like tiebreakers, Minators is gonna be there. They're definitely gonna be a force to be reckoned with in the tournament and place when that starts in probably less than a month at this point. We're in week 9, week 10 stuff.
Indeed. And at first, I was going to say we didn't need to take the shot that early, but if we were actually suspicious of White Dress, she had the bug opportunity. And so we might have been worried. Like, now, it would have been kind of unlikely that we had the flirt totally done by then, but it was a potential super rush on the White Purloin. So we might have felt a ton of pressure because of the bug potential out of White Dress.